Welcome everybody to what night are we on now?
I think this one's night 12. I'd have to double check, but 12 sounds right.
All right, night 12 of Vampire the Requiem First Edition, using the World of Darkness Chicago module and the clan books as well as the core books. Um, I'll let everybody introduce themselves, starting with Andy just above me.
Oh, I play Ragtag, the Nosferatu Order of the Dracul. Uh, the typical "Why am I here today?" guy. According to some of our group, I am completely invisible all the time. So to annoy that person, he walks around with a mannequin head in a hat with it that he can hold up to prove he is in fact in the room.
And then Arshes, who are you playing?
I am playing the lovable idiot, Dava called Alex Stress, the vampire who most people think, why are you here? And that's
And
it's
then
usually to cause chaos and mayhem.
Nick, you're playing.
I am playing Arthur Stanton, the uh, smart, I guess, maquette, um, an acolyte now of the Circle of the Crone, and wanting to take over some magical turf.
All right.
Yeah.
And who wants to do the overview from the last session that we had? We're unfortunately not joined tonight by Tyler, who couldn't make it due to some other due to some other
Scheduling
scheduling.
conflicts.
Yeah,
There you go.
scheduling conflicts. But normally he plays the Circle of the Crone gangrel of the troop, um, whose whose name is Carter, and tends to be a bit level-headed. So, which one of you guys wants to go on the recap tonight?
If you want, I can do it. So, well, not last night, the same night, but last session, we took on a job that Alex had been proposed back when we were presented as for the first time hounds, um, which was near the docks, if I'm not mistaken. We went over there to find what was what because there were reports of um, humans being killed through transformations and a talk. We found out that it was a gangrel that was wandering the streets. Loki knew her, but I don't remember what name he said. um but we kind of acquired information, and we found out that we had been essentially played and somebody wanted us to like take care of the problem for them, so that I could get like a better foothold in that place that was contested by the Carthians and the Ordo. And with that, we came back and we talked to Loki to see if he had any leads for more work,
Uh,
and he did in the graveyard.
yeah. Also, the fact that through a few choice words from Alex, he may have picked a fight with a very large, very dangerous uh, group. And then the first time Alex and Arthur have agreed on something, it's basically in the. So it looks like he's going to pick a fight with three major powers in the group in the city.
Well, yeah, why not?
I think this is literally the first time Alex and Arthur have actually agreed on something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, it's not the first time Adeva has done something quite brash and unintelligent, but
Like, what? What are you talking about? Me? Unintelligent? Mm. Brass? I don't even know the meaning of the word. He really doesn't.
And yep, we're on our way to the cemetery last time when we ended the last session.
All right, what was
Yeah.
the job in the cemetery? Because you just said there was a job at the cemetery, and it's been a while. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't remember particulars.
the job was pretty much Loki stated that there was just something weird going on there. People hanging out for some time and um, not people going missing, but just people moving in and out. And it's supposed to be an abandoned cemetery.
Alex only cares if he gets to punch something.
So,
Fair.
Alex
yeah.
is now also talking in the third person.
All right, Caesar. Yes, I saw that episode of Horrible Histories as well.
All right, so I'm guessing we're getting there on Alex's ride.
Yep. You get to ride Alex.
No, your car.
Now, I just instantly assume that we're just going to go and see a whole bunch of emo goth kids hanging out at the cemetery. So, this is basically a waste of my valuable time that I could be spending playing video games.
Well, if they have gear, it's not wasting my time. I can't
Some
get stone right. I'm still getting used to the whole vampire thing.
Well, think about it this way: free food.
Free fun.
Okay, so Alex is not driving us back home after this.
You do you, Alex.
No, I have to do them.
I just realized there's a specialization in socialized that is frat parties. Oddly specific.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm actually would actually be able to do that.
Sorry, man.
So, you guys take a ride out to the cemetery in Alex's car.
Mm.
As you're driving out, it seems like as if the normal sounds of the city start to fade away, even though you're still within the sort of suburban areas of Chicago itself. It's darker here for some reason. Street lights seem to be duller. Their light not casting nearly as far as you would normally see in the evening's dull glows. So, yeah. The cemetery itself, as you pull up to the front gates, which are oddly open, is filled with a low hanging fog that settles just above the ground. There are several dozen um, headstones that you can see in the darkness that are tilted and angled oddly as the ground around has shifted through time as trees have grown up in the middle of the cemetery and weathering has eroded away names on several of them. The
Right.
gates are rusted iron, um, the tops of which are topped with broken crucifixes, either because of local kids smashing them on dares or just because they're so decrepit and eroded by acid rain that parts of them have just rusted and fallen off with age.
Alex flips out the card. Goes, right, where's the golf chicks?
Hold your horses.
I'm just going straight into Cloak of Night, and I got 3 successes on that. So let's hope they're all mortal.
All right,
Work first, play later, Alex.
all right, all right. But we'll do the usual thing. You do the stealth thing. I do the loud, obnoxious thing.
Boy, you're starting to get the hang of this. Okay.
All right.
I don't like those crosses, but let's see what's going on.
Well, we all got our own crosses to bear.
Yes, and there's someone in particular who does as well.
As you enter into the graveyard.
Yeah, no.
Okay. As
I was about to do something and said, like, no, I'm not doing that yet.
as the three of you enter into visible, the other two quite visible to the world around. The air seems to become still, stagnant, unmoving. Like the entire area is in mourning and forever in mourning. But there's a restful quality to it, like a finalness to this entire area. Like it's accepted what has come to it.
Okay.
The gravel, from what you can see through the swirling fog as you step through, almost appears undisturbed, like nobody has traveled through here.
So no golf chicks.
Probably not.
Well,
But
fuck. Maybe someone I could punch. There's only two things I'm good at, and they both begin with F.
We're going to put that on a shirt one day, I swear.
The stillness continues as you step in and through. But as you go in deeper, there's an almost peaceful quality that starts to lay down amongst the three of you.
I want to try something. Probably ridiculous, but being in a cemetery, but I want to put up a spirit site. I want to see more or less how the veil is in this area.
All right. What does that call for?
I suppose essentially heightened senses, it says here. The player simply activates a power allowing them to see and hear across the veil. Does not give the kindred ability to see or interact with the spiritual world of werewolves. Simply the unquite dead.
Ooh. As
So
your
Alex is going to go
if
insane.
If I remember correctly, this devotion, if I remember correctly, this sort of devotion actually manifests itself differently according to how each vampire sort of interplays with Kruak. Because if I remember correctly, this is a Kruak and Auspex.
Yeah, this is a Maquette thing.
Okay, so how when you're using this devotion, how does it manifest physically for you? What sort of sign um does the blood give to anybody who can look at the at the nuances of it?
Um, so Arthur himself kind of goes himself even more pale on his eyes take on a different hue, pupilless. Not completely white, but more like a teal color as he starts peering into it. Um,
Fuck, it's Ringu.
So
Give me a second.
as your body adjusts to the manifestations of calling upon the powers of the mixture of your covenant and clan, you start to see the world around you as if there is a fog not only on the ground but all around, and you can see shapes and forms of people walking slowly deeper into the uh, the cemetery, congregating towards an decrepit falling building, um, just at the edge of your eyesight.
Do they seem um do spirits seem at ease? Do they seem um like I can see them? Do they seem very unruly or not at all?
They seem very passive.
Okay.
A few of them do take notice to the two of you, but it's not as unnerving as what could possibly be, as they just sort of where'd everybody go?
I don't know. It's like we all got dropped at the same time. So
Yeah,
I see everybody moving again.
yeah. So, which is very odd because my kilobytes per second is still like above 2,000. So I'm just like, what the heck's going on?
Well, considering I just saw like at least two of you blink, I think it was more Discord than any one of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At least that's what we're going to claim.
All right. Um, you said that throughout this fog and the spirits there, I could see a decrepit building. I'm
Yeah.
gonna start moving towards there at walking pace.
As you start walking, more and more of the spirits around start taking notice of you, but they're not interacting. You can hear sort of chatter amongst them all, but it's hard to tell if they're actually talking to each other or if it's just echoes of their former selves acting out because of memories.
Hmm. All right. Um, I more or less want to see where the building is, and I'll lower the spirit sight. Kind of trying to remember where that building is and to see where I can see it in the actual graveyard.
Um, as you drop the spirit sight, the building still remains, but it seems even more fallen in than what it was before. Almost like as if the spiritual residue is still sort of keeping form and function to what it was on the other side, more so than what it is now. It's
Hmm.
thoroughly fallen in walls collapsed, but you can see a figure walking towards it.
Okay. I'll like put a hand back towards Alex to kind of tell him to halt in. And I'll start walking a lot more stealthily than I was. Approaching the same building.
Now, can all of us see this figure walking?
No, only Nick can.
Okay.
To the rest of you, the area is just very dark. The moon not really casting much light to the area around.
I'm still going to be like 15, 20 feet to the side because well, my thought is if anything comes at them head on, then I'll be able to circle around quicker.
I can't hear you, Arshes.
Nothing.
Nope.
No.
I'm sure he's telling us that he turned on his own strobe light and was walking around.
1 second.
Fair enough. I think I should have done something earlier.
I will just take this moment to say that everybody's video is coming in so much better today. I don't know if you guys all did some improvements on your end or what, but well, I mean, Cal's like he's living in the attic now, but other than that, the video quality is great.
I've actually not upgraded anything on my side except for the lighting, and moved office. So
Yeah, maybe it's the lighting in the office because, I mean, lighting is of course a big thing because that can help with the pixelation of it.
oh,
No.
as well, I've removed the
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
can
Yep.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. I say Alex cracks his knuckles and it's goes, right, let's go kick some ass. And that's
I'm just
his
gonna
best.
buy him a hat with a strobe light on it. I swear.
And at this point, this is basically Alex's attempt at being inspiring. And I'm gonna roll the inspiring roll,
Okay.
and 2 successes.
All right. So that inspiring roll gives.
Regain 1 spent point of willpower.
Okay. So everybody can regain 1 spent of willpower.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
You can see like at that you can see like a slight grin on Arthur's face. Like, we're good. This is
Again,
fine.
lovable idiot.
All right, I start making my way towards that building stealthily, trying to keep my heightened senses up in case I hear any stray bullets or something.
as you all get closer to the church, you see a sudden spark, like a flame off in the distance, followed by the red cherry of a cigarette of somebody smoking as it, before it disappears into the building itself. Alex, you can hear low voices carried over the distance.
Like, Can Alex see anything?
Wait, I meant that to be Arthur. Sorry.
Yeah.
Alex, what you saw was the very familiar light of a flame, um, and then
I
a
don't
red
know.
shard disappearing
I
off in
don't know
the
what you
distance.
mean. Can I? Do I see the figure, or not at all?
You saw the figure, Arthur. You saw the figure actually disappear inside into the building.
Building.
As collapsed as it is, this person, whatever this thing is, or whoever this person is, they've managed to actually get inside, and you can hear talking.
Ah, great. I need a fag now. He pulls out a bag of smokes.
Whoa, no, 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 no. If Alex lifts it up, Arthur's like, no, snatches it from his hand. No.
Alex glares at Arthur.
I put it up just not to throw it on the ground because then Alex would get pissed. There's company. It's rude. It's just rude. And I give him back the cigarette.
Alex, you see the cockiness from his face is gone, and you see him just glare, this death glare. As he takes the fag back, puts it away. You get one.
I'll take it. Or rather, I took it.
I've broken
All
people's
right.
jaws. I've broken people's jaws for nicking my fags.
People, not kindred.
People, kindred, they all have jaws.
Ragtag is just heading
Anyways.
straight on to where he saw the lighter because he knows that conversation is not going to go anywhere productive and it's going to take far too long.
No, after that, I was just like, yeah, whatever. Let's go. You keep your fist ready just in case.
All right.
And I will make my way there.
All right. As you start to get closer, I need perception rolls from everybody. So wits plus comp. Alex, you have no penalties because of your auspex, so you can add in your auspex.
You mean Arthur?
Arthur. Yeah, Arthur. Wow, too many people with A's in this game.
How do you think I feel in the trick roll game? You and Jylith.
What?
So plus aspects.
With
okay.
wits plus what?
Wits plus comp for you and Ragtag.
That is composure, right?
Yeah, composure.
Okay.
But at a -3 because of distance. Arthur's the only one who doesn't get a negative because of auspex, which cancels out any sort of
So yeah, okay.
You know, I got a lot of things that are supposed to enhance my composure, don't I?
It's gonna be what's negative?
3. -3.
So I get 2 dice. I got a success.
I clicked roll, but oh, okay, there it is. I got 7 successes.
Holy crap.
That was all 5 dice. I got 7 successes.
4. You did better than I did, to be honest. With 4 tens.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's.
Let me just make sure that you did that roll right. What the heck?
I double checked it myself, man. I put in all right, 7 minus. Sorry, that should have been 7 minus. That should have been 4,
3.
not 5 dice.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But still, that was a lot of tens.
Yep. 4 tens.
There's also the
4
And-
10s off. Jeez,
Yeah.
4 10s and a 9.
So
Off
I
of that
see
first try.
everything, and I've used up all my luck on the least important roll.
the fact that, but also the fact that Alex is potentially thought being perceptive.
Hmm.
He actually got a success.
Hey, you can always get, that's the fun thing about this. You can have a 0 in something, and you can still have a chance. And
Yep.
if you keep getting 10, you can get multiple chances, apparently.
Yep, I know the feeling of getting more successes than your actual dice pool.
Yep. Arthur, you can't make out exact words, but you can get the feeling that it's 4 people. You can distinctly make out 4 different tones of people's voices. Alex, you're not able to pick up anything at all.
He just got music
Um,
playing in his head.
Like
Yeah.
he's got he's basically singing "Free My Frankenstein" as he walks along.
No, you've got the Mission Impossible theme running through your head.
And I like
Yeah,
to think
okay.
he's walking what he sees as still on TV.
Yeah.
He's doing the Pink Panther shuffle.
No, do do. He's da da
Exactly. That's how I picture it in my head.
But
Definitely.
but Ragtag, having a dramatic success over the successes needed to hear the voices, you can make out a conversation between 4 people, the majority of which is just talking about how they need to keep the ghosts of the area moving on to the other side. Otherwise, it might cause issues for the locals as it had been before. But
Okay.
you're hearing a dual tone to every voice. Like it's not just one person talking when one of them talks, but they're talking with 2 voices at the same time.
Does that mean anything to me? I mean, like, Andy's got ideas about what that might mean, but Ragtag, however, what does he think about that?
If you want, can you give me a wits plus occult roll?
I have a cult, so this will actually work out. Let me double check my math here, but yeah, that'll be 5 dice. Thanks for reading Writing on the Wall. I have points in occult, but I have no successes this time. See, I burnt all my luck just then.
So yeah, no, you have no clue on what that can mean because you've studied so much as part of the order that it could be any number of things. And you without actually seeing the people providing the voices, you can't tell what's going on.
I'll just assume that they're all possessed.
Alex,
Yeah.
no, Arthur.
This is why you check names before you start the games.
Just say smart one and idiot, and everybody will know who's who.
Well, no, then I'm going to think he's
Yeah.
always talking to me.
No, smart one, idiot.
I have the
you're the
highest
invisible man.
intelligence.
All right.
You
From now on, your designations from me are invisible creeper, psychosocial, and Mr. Librarian.
There we go.
Giles. His name is now Giles.
No,
I
because Giles
I-
could at least stand his own in a fight.
Good
yes,
point.
I cannot.
Wesley.
No,
I have
Wesley
one
actually turned
strength.
into someone cool.
Yeah.
I have one strength, nothing in brawl or weaponry, so I am okay.
Okay, so invisible creeper, psychosocial, worthless librarian.
Not worthless.
Worthless librarian. You have yet to prove your value to Ragtag. You're just there.
How about scoping out Filthfoot through the freaking veil?
Did not seem to stop him from chasing you all away.
Arthur,
Yes.
as you continue to walk through the cemetery, it seems like something is going a bit haywire. Your devotion of spirit sight suddenly starts kicking on without you willing it up, and you're seeing ghosts everywhere. You're seeing them sitting on top of their gravestones, staring down into their graves. You've got several voices echoing throughout the entire stillness of the night that are not those voices that you were noticing before, but they're the actual phantasms. Several of which are talking about family members and lost children.
Right. These the ghosts I'm seeing, they're starting to be a bit riled up, or is it that their voices are starting to grow more and more stronger for
It
the
they're
spirit
starting
sense?
to grow much stronger through the spirit sense, and you can note that as things sort of get closer towards the church, the fog around the area begins to clear out, like it's thinning.
Right. So Arthur doesn't really know much about past the veil because that is a side of spirituality he hasn't experienced yet, but he's starting to delve into. With his in limited information about that, does he have an inkling of what this could entail? This essential, this gradual like increase in volume and the clearing of this fog.
Um, from your knowledge of the spirit sight as it's been taught to you, a decreasing of the fog means a thinning of the separation between the land of the unquiet dead and the mortal realm. So their voices getting stronger and less muffled means that the separation between the two worlds is thinning out.
Right, a hole between the two, almost. It's the ozone layer.
Yeah, but that's actually able to be repaired and has slowly been doing so.
All right. Um, I will look back to Alex and I will mouth ghost shit. And I'll
Fuck.
keep walking forward.
Fuck. Can't punch ghosts at the moment. Makes mental note. Make mental note. Learn how to punch ghosts.
Ghost puncher.
Ghost beaters.
Because since I more or less get an inkling that the veil's starting to thin out in this area, I'm gonna start putting up aura sense as I start getting closer and closer to the building.
All right. Can you roll me your aura sense roll at a -5?
Oh shit! Or is it the aspects of will? Aspect clash of wills is the same thing. So
No, it's aura sense. That
okay.
because because you're actually able to see auras of ghosts at this point.
At a -5, you said?
Yep.
Please, exploding tons.
Power.
Nope. 1.
One is all you can. One is all you need. Across a lot of the ghosts, you're seeing the color and hues of blues and violent red for some, and for others a gold, but their strength is on par with a vampire's in that they're dead. Their aura is dulled out. These are memories and echoes of emotions now, not emotions of a living person.
You said blue and violent red, right?
Yep.
Okey-doke. Now, here's the thing about aura. There's 3 different types of blues. It sucks. Um, and then you said gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as to the aura of like the entity, do I get more of vampire or more of ghost, or is that not, or just a spiritual gold?
It is ghost. You are seeing phantasms.
Fantastic.
Fabulous. All right. I'll turn my headset. Yep, ghosts.
Mm,
Um,
I'll give it away.
uh, I'm not gonna respond to that because I have no way of telling like Alex like I can see people's. Never mind. Let's just go.
Pervert. It walks off.
All right.
Besides
I
our
don't
dear
have a.
friend besides our dear friend Ragtag, what are you are the rest are the you other two being stealthy, or are you just walking?
Yes. No. I am being stealthy.
All right. Can I get
Can I even be stealthy?
dex and dex stealth rolls from the both of you,
Okay.
+2 for situational because of the shadows.
Okay.
To be honest, as a character choice, he's probably not being stealthy. It's just not his style.
I will take that +2.
Well, if you are standing next to Alex, you should still probably be a negative.
Probably. So that's successes. Frick.
All right.
How did I get so many 2s?
Ragtag,
Yes.
you hear one of the double sounding voices go, "Shh, there's people here." And then suddenly stillness and footsteps coming out. And Alex and Arthur, you can both see a figure come out of the church and look at you. Arthur, in your sight, it seems like this person is a melding of human and phantasm. There's a definite human there, but laced in them and over their natural human figure, there seems to be a melding of something else there with them.
Do you tell Alex this?
Does. Oh no. He's trying to be as quiet as possible. Would this be a possession? Or is that beyond my ken to know?
If you're trying to figure it out,
Yes,
roll
I am.
Roll wits plus occult -5.
Alright. So many negatives tonight. So
The GM is negging us.
okay, so
It's because I want to get into your sweet, sweet dice bags.
that's gonna end up being just 2 die. With 3 successes, so I'll take it.
What?
Wait. Yeah. So 10, 9, and then 8 for the 10.
Oh,
I'll take it.
There are two things that this could actually be, both of which are a possession. One is a forceful possession, and one is a bartered possession.
Alright. I'll, seeing as they already notice us, I'm going to exit stealth mode and just like start walking towards them. And once I'm about, let's say, 10 feet away, I'm gonna start conversing with this. And I will essentially say, hello there, spirit. Yes, I can see you in there. What brings you to this body?
Looks at you with narrowed eyes. As you've gotten closer, you can tell that there is a definite human there. And what's interlaced into them, while appearing humanoid, is quite a bit different. It's got the same ghostly pallor as the phantasms around, but it's different, misshapen, almost like as if it's not painted but just changed by something.
is his name Danny?
No.
I got that reference.
Yep. Yeah, I did too.
I just wondered if this was an actual in character question that Alex yells out.
If he actually knows about this, probably.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, he did
Not yet,
hear
at
the whole "Hey, ghost, I see you" thing.
Actually, in that case, yes, he says this out loud.
Was that show even aired in 2005?
I'm doing a quick check.
Please say yes. Please say yes. Please say yes.
Let's do a fourth wall check.
Produced by Bob Doyle, 2004 to 2005. So yeah.
Yes!
Oh shit. No way.
Yes.
Okay, for those of us in other regions, what was the show?
Danny Phantom.
Oh, okay.
From Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
Yep.
I remember that. I'm just a little bit older, so.
Yeah. As you say that, he just sort of looks at you, and he's just like, "Fucking hell!"
Don't mind the village idiot.
Hey! You underestimate my ability to be an idiot. It's city idiot. Thank you very much.
Here.
Bordering on national.
Eggs.
Or like state.
No, national. I'm from England. I
International then.
my idiocy is a national treasure.
All right.
Probably gets ridden more times than the underground as well.
You're not wrong.
So, why are you two here?
Golf chicks.
Well,
Okay,
we
correction.
we were
Why are you here? You stop talking.
I just ignore him. See, even ghosts are annoyed by Alex.
like, please, the living can't make me stop talking. If the dead are.
Unrest. We serve the prince of the kindred here in, I was about to say Detroit, in Chicago, and we were alerted to some unrest here in the cemetery. Seems like your free time activities haven't gone unnoticed.
I just starts rubbing the bridge of his nose. And then he looks towards the door of the church and goes, Elizabeth, we need you out here. And out comes a very thin, blonde-haired woman dressed in pretty much standard day clothing. So it looks like as if she would be either some form of middle management or so in her day life. Arthur, you can see that she as well has a spiritual phantasmal form attached onto her, and it stands tall and thin in humanoid form, but is pockmarked by what looks like disease and desiccation. And as she turns her head towards you both, it does so as well, and just leans down, almost whispering in her ear as she crosses her arms and looks at you both. So,
Kindred or human?
they are not kindred, and they are not human per se. They are mortal, but not human.
One quick question before we go any further. I know we talked about like me improving my my weapon skills, but I don't know if we ever clarified. Do I carry like some sort of club, baton, or do I need to be finding some kind of weapon?
If you feel like you would be carrying a club or baton, you can be carrying one.
Okay, I
I
figure I
thought you were
had
gonna
some
say
kind of something that I could like just slip into my coat. So, okay, just want to know if I need to be looking for rocks.
a bayonet.
When the blonde looks at Alex has this award-winning smile out.
And at that point, I make sure I have my weapons in hand. I just shake my head, pull out the tonfas. Yep.
I'm I give her a slight nod, like hello type, and I'm waiting for her to start initiating the conversation.
Mhm.
Alex, I need you to roll blood resolve. I need you to roll.
Who? Wait, Alex or Arthur?
All right. I need you to Alex, I need you to roll your oh. What is your resolve and composure?
Both free.
Okay. Present. difficult. Plus curse rating minus
Now,
3.
Arthur, I figured that at some point the rest of the coterie had agreed that if Alex got himself into stupid trouble by being stupid, we were going to just let that play out, right? Like, at what point
I
have we agreed that we will intervene?
I have never heard of such a talk.
I figure at some point we all had to say, look, we know one day he's going to open his mouth to the wrong thing and he's going to get, anime punched across the room. Like, at what point would we have agreed we should step in and intervene? Because the punch is coming, I know it.
Don't don't declare war before the peace talks end.
Alex, you feel as her gaze focuses upon you with that smile, a chill like the coldest Arctic wind reaching through your body, and you cannot find any warmth. This touches you not only on a physical level, but on a spiritual level as well. All of your actions from now on are at a -2.
Just like my ex.
Now, Ragtag
Wow.
feels if he when
Wow.
he finds out about this, yeah, this is well deserved, and this is something Alex earned for himself.
Arthur, in your
Mm-hmm.
vision, it's like as if you can, for that moment that everything's happening, you just see the form look down to her and nod before it just lets out a breath, and you can see this ice and icicle like wind just consume Alex for a second before dissipating.
Alex is still smiling. He just shivers a little.
Let's try not to get hostile.
But as you see him still smiling, his fist is slowly clenching.
It is only natural for you to find him extremely annoying. That is what he does.
You're right, it's what
We
I
just
do.
want to know what you are doing here. The veil is pretty thin in this spot, which is probably why I can see you and your position is so strong.
We are not possessed. We are not marionetted. We are not consumed. We are aided. We are here to aid in passing on of spirits. Otherwise, there's a build-up, and then things begin to break down.
This is why so many people have been coming in and out of this graveyard recently.
Yes.
Why now?
When we've been able to get to it. We do not work by your... You called yourselves Kindred Society?
Oh,
We keep a balance for many things when it comes to the unquiet and the mortal.
that's fair. Now, what are you? Because you are mortal, but not human by any means.
Are you aware of the writer Megan Campisi?
Arthur might be, but Nick
Actually,
doesn't.
strike that. I've just that is the wrong book. It was the second book that came up. I need to um, okay. We are not that far off from those who would be close to Tlazol Diol. But I think in more Western American, Western European, translated into American folklore, we would be the diners at a recently dead's ending feast who would eat their sins, allowing them to be purified and pass on.
So you're sin eaters.
Yes.
Geist.
As you say that, she goes, yes, in the vulgar.
Nick knows very little of Geist, but what does Arthur know of Geist? With respect to the whole supernatural order of things.
When it comes to the whole supernatural order of things, you don't know a whole lot because there haven't been a whole many Geists explored within vampiric culture. There are notes of those who have made deals with the unquiet dead who are victims of vampires who wanted to seek revenge for their deaths at the hand of vampires. Normally it's the spirits themselves that come up to those people and offer a deal. But other than that, there's not much into their culture or society or power ranges or even how they interact with the other side. It's just pretty much here's something that can happen.
No, yeah, that's pretty much what I was looking for. Do you seek to harm any member of my code or any kindred of this area?
We don't seek to harm anyone.
Just let the dead pass on into the veil.
Yes. And if helping them pass through means having to deal with something on this side to allow them to do so, we have to do that.
So what I'm getting is they aren't an immediate threat, but if any kindred come up here and start screwing things up, they will open fire, essentially.
Arthur, just as a quick aside,
Mm-hmm.
have you ever killed anyone in your feeding?
I have not. Maybe I don't recall, but maybe when I was recently embraced, because I remember Ashley did bring me a corpse just so I didn't go rampaging through the city trying to look for something and break the masquerade. But that was only during the embrace, if I remember. But beyond that, I don't think Arthur has. If you want, I can roll for it to see how unlucky I was as a, as a recently embraced kindred.
Um, uh, Ragtag, have you ever killed anyone?
I'm going to assume that at some point, because Ragtag is selective about who he would have fed on, but yeah, let's go ahead and assume he's killed at least one. Because his particular code means some people deserve it.
Alex, have you ever fed on somebody to the point of them dying while here in Chicago?
You would be surprised, but no, he's actually got a lot of self-restraint when it comes to feeding.
Arthur,
Yes.
as you say this, you feel a cold hand on your shoulder. And Ragtag, you feel like several small cold gusts of wind sort of pass through you as you're watching this exchange.
What do these figures look like? He's essentially assessing risk and hostility.
So you're going to look at the ones that are you're going to look at the one that's near you, or the one that's laid its hand on you.
Yes. And this will probably screw me over, but yes.
You see a thin figure with a chewed out throat who's looking at you not with anger, but sort of reverence. They're shirtless with their wrists cut open as well. And there are several symbols almost gouged into their chest that you recognize as those that are used for ghouls, generic ghouls of the circle of the crone.
Hmm.
And if you look around, you see a few very distorted, ripped apart figures gathered in a small semicircle, just continuously walking back and forth, that appear like they've died incredibly violently.
Around me?
Not around you, on a further side of the cemetery.
Um, with heightened senses up, do I see any figure where those ghosts are circling around? Or
Um,
those figures?
do you both want to give me Clash of Wills rolls, Andy and Nick,
All
so
right,
that
just
you
a sec.
can?
I mean, I know how many. Let's see.
Do we have any negatives to this?
Mm-mm.
3 successes.
2 successes.
Arthur, you do not see what they are clustered around. Yeah, Arthur, you don't see what they're clustered around.
All right.
We can tell what you are by those that follow you.
That's fair. Then I need not defend myself, since you can see through me. Or explain myself.
No. But we do request that you and yours do take much care in how you go about things, because others have to clean up the messes in multiple ways.
I can at least control the way I do things. Some of my compatriots, and he looks at Alex, as you can tell, have a mind of their own, and not all as sharp. And while we're all the same type of undead, each one lives by different codes.
And consider, you look at Alex, you notice there's like, I believe there's no ghosts around him.
No, there are no ghosts around him. There is actually a limit on how far ghosts can travel. So if you've killed some in England, they can't follow you to the U.S. They're kind of
Can't cross this ocean.
Generally speaking, Alex doesn't have a lot in when it comes to self-restraint. Like if you haven't noticed, but the one thing he's always naturally good at when it comes to is actually pulling back when it's going too far. Basically, all his self-restraint is basically gone into not killing someone while he's feeding.
there's a lot of self-restraint.
Yeah, that's why he has no self-restraint anywhere else. It's all burnt into not killing when feeding.
And what of the rest of your compatriots? Because I imagine I can only see two, Elizabeth and the first guy we saw, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are the rest of your compatriots? Are they, forgive me for the term, but guys as well?
My crew answers to itself. So yes, we are.
Very well.
I'm afraid no ghost.
I as someone with spiritual understanding, I can understand what you are doing in this place, and for that, um, just for that, I can leave with peace of mind that at least for now, unless some other kindred with questionable history, you mean no threat to anybody who crosses this place.
If you keep the rest of your kind away from us while we do our work here, we promise that if you need aid yourselves at any point, we will help.
Do you mind answering a question? I know this is very out of place, seeing as we just only met.
Mm-hmm.
What is your position with respect to demons?
They are different from how we orchestrate things. Demons into a world that some of the spirits that we help pass over become entangled with. The Inferno is its own little world. They cross over. They can be issues, but we have our ways of dealing with them, much in the same way that a Catholic priest would, or anybody with any sort of faith would be able to.
Fair enough. Very well. We'll leave you to your work then. If anything should arise and we need your aid, would we be able to find you here? Or is there a call sign
You'll
when
be
we
able to
require your aid? Okay.
You'll be able to find us here. If our work here ends, then we will make you aware of where we will next be.
Very well. As you have pointed out that we may ask for your aid, though I think we can't essentially help in your endeavors. I think it only polite and adequate to also lend ourselves if you require aid, at least for what we can do, which is much more limited.
If we need aid, we will come to you. We are searching for a kindred.
Kindred hunt. Kindred hunt.
Be careful how you say that, Nate. You're stepping into Alex's territory with that mispronunciation.
By the name of Solomon.
Oh, fucking hell.
Arthur literally just starts cracking up as in,
And at this point, Alex just bursts out, fucking hell.
Sorry for such a vernacular tongue, and might be inappropriate, but what the fuck is your beef with Solomon?
She just opens her arms across the cemetery.
He is responsible for all of these souls.
A vast majority of them.
Well, then we actually have, I wouldn't say, yeah, something in common. We have a bit of, we've experienced Solomon firsthand. And to be quite frank on a certain situation, we we have essentially labeled ourselves as nuisances to him.
Hey.
Which is
In this case, I had nothing to do with that. All you're doing.
Yeah. I believe it was Carter Red Tag, but yeah, I was there.
No,
and so
Ragtag did not say a word. He was there if he thought he could provoke Solomon enough to eliminate him as a threat. but it was Carter and
Created.
I think Alex supported it. No, Arthur supported it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Ragtag did
Ale-
not.
Alex wasn't even there.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
true. It was the two brainiacs.
Yeah,
So
Quotations
we
there.
yeah. For once, Alex had nothing to do with the chaos.
Mm-hmm. No,
so we
it was
essentially triggered Solomon per se.
You
Um,
combine your powers and pulled an Alex.
what is it that you wish? What is essentially what do you envision this vendetta against Solomon as in, or
It's not that we have a vendetta against him. It's that he is needed in order to help many of these spirits cross over, for them to resolve their traumatic death.
Hmm.
Another one that we need to speak with is a Mistress Lasky. There is a continual wandering soul that seems to be caught between worlds that we need to speak with her about.
Salaski?
Hmm.
I think that might be a little bit more achievable than bringing forth Solomon. If you've never had the
Displeasure.
pleasure pleasure of interacting with Solomon, he is a very
He's a
like,
cunt.
he is a self-righteous bastard, and like many self-righteous bastards, he probably doesn't think he's in the wrong at all.
But we need
That being
to,
said,
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
we need to speak with Lasky though about that wandering soul. Whichever one is easier for you to get through, that will help us quite a bit.
Quick question for you, storyteller. Does me speaking reveal myself?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I still feel
Alright.
like I need to ask the question, so I will become visible as I ask. Is this going to be something traumatic to Solomon?
It really depends on he himself.
I'm going to assume this is going to be extremely traumatic to Solomon, and I had already said I was trying to keep feelers out for him. Do I know anything about his whereabouts, his crew makeup?
You know that he can be found at one of the Baptist churches, and especially underneath it, where he holds the dark mass for the Lancia Sanctum.
All right, basically, I
And
just take out my notes and I'm just like, okay, here's the addresses, here's the sort of ghouls he keeps on him. It's like, here you go. You know, here, do you need me to fax you a copy of this?
she just looks over your notes and goes, "That's very detailed."
Do I see her change her disposition? Like right now, when Ragtag reveals himself, can I tell that he's the one that has all these ghosts circling around him?
Yes, with him revealing himself, you can tell that he's the one with the ghosts circling around him.
Okay,
They
mentally, Arthur's like, fuck.
Yes, they look like they've died very violently, but at the same time, you get the feeling like they are not good in and of themselves either. There's the beginning marks on some of them, like their bodies are rotting.
All right. Do I see any change in Elizabeth's disposition as Ragtag reveals himself?
No, you don't.
Okay.
She just seems very cold and stone faced. The guy behind her though, you actually see his phantasm actually rise up a bit, and his looks like as if it has for its face a 6-shot revolver, and it is just a bored out cannonball explosion inside of a human chest.
Are they making JoJo poses?
No.
Honestly, I'm just imagining Shaman King.
I'm
It's actually
imagining.
Like in
that
Ragtag's
that
mind, he started calling them shaman right away.
I was thinking more stand users.
I'm less familiar with that one.
JoJo
JoJo Part
reference.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know of it. I'm just not familiar with it. So
They're like a segment of a person's soul, essentially. That's overly powerful and awakens in order to fight.
yeah, but the way you described them, I imagine shaman. So
Yeah, no, you're not out of character. You're not actually all that far off. They are very shamanist. They're. I guess the best thing that you could say is they're speakers for the dead.
yeah, and in Ragtag's mind, that's a shaman.
Yep.
Offerus Sin Eaters, if I remember, are based more on voodoo practitioner.
No, no. I'll answer. I'll get into that out of character
Yeah.
after the game.
Yeah.
They're not. Their voodoo has a completely different mechanic in this game from
Oh.
yeah.
Mm.
But
Okay.
she just seems to she walks up to you, reads your notes for a moment, and then steps away. Arthur, what you see as she's reading is the spirit that's connected to her just consumes one of the ghosts around Ragtag, just straight up swallows it.
Oh, she can keep those notes if she needs them. I always have. Those are like the ones I keep on me. I figure I have duplicates somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I think there was one notebook that was dedicated to Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not like not like this kind of notebook. Smaller notepad.
Like a moleskin.
God, is it Kia Solomon?
No. No, I just figured I had a small notepad that contained the notes. I
Don't
get the
make
key
me
of Solomon. I do. I'm just like, no, I'm not. I'm
Arthur
not that bad.
raises his eyebrows, like essentially, like, "Oh shit!"
Like, I didn't pull out a novel here. I just like, look, these are some of the notes I kept on me about Solomon. I probably have more somewhere else, but these are like the quick reference type things. That had all the valuable, on the fly information that I could add to.
The Cliff Notes of Solomon.
Yeah. His schedule, anything I had about his crew. Like, if I met someone who needed to trade information, I needed to have it on hand in a way I could pass it off. So I was like, yep, you can keep that one.
So your
Alright,
notes pretty
then.
much have a detailed sort of regimen on how often he holds the black mass and the fact that he sits on the governing board below the prince and everything. So
Hey, if somebody else can deal with him, I'm fine with that.
I don't think they're just gonna. Well, who knows?
Well, based on my interactions with Solomon and what I picked up from this conversation, if they get to work, if they get a meeting with him in any way, shape, or form, it is not going to be good for him. I don't care if he survives it or not. He's not going to be happy, and I'm fine with that.
You missed the fact that, well, they don't know our names, but regardless,
I assume that this is
Um,
going to be
when
unpleasant for him, and that's what matters to me on a personal level.
so when the guy eats one of the ghosts, you just see Arthur just like raises his eyebrows like, oh shit, that happened. I didn't know that could happen. Huh. And there's a
Oops.
little bit of curiosity in his eye, like, wonder what that does.
Once she rejoins her fellow, she then looks at all three of you and then goes, "May we return to our business."
One quick question.
No, I won't go out on a date with you.
That's not what I was going to ask. Yeah, can you get rid of this chill, please? It's getting a little annoying.
It will fade in time.
Yeah.
For the record, if you smack him across the cemetery, we're not going to intervene. Now, if it gets
I
worse
look
than
at
that, maybe. I take that on a
look at
case by
Ragtime like,
case. You, one is a freebie with him. He's already earned it.
I haven't smacked him yet.
That's why I'm
When was
saying
that
that
deal
if she
made?
does, I'm not getting involved. I'm like,
You got your freebie by taking my fag.
5 or 6, maybe I take those, conditionally, but 1 is a given.
Anyways, yes, we
In all
can.
fairness, you hit me once, fine, I'll take it. So for a second time, we might come to blows.
Yes, we can depart our exchange here. I will not delay anymore. I will not take about any more of your time. And we will find out if we can bring to you this Celesti.
Lasky, yes. Thank you.
Arthur gives like a very slight nod, and taps Alex on the shoulder like, "Let's go."
Yeah. I have my fag now.
I already gave it back to you a while ago.
No, I said, can I? Are you going to try and take my fag if I spark one up? Because I kind of like you and I don't want to punch you in the face.
No, that's fine. Now you can do it. When we're approaching the unknown, you do not light up.
Well, it could be my last fags or I die, so kind of, yeah. He pulls out a fag, lights it up.
Annoyingly enough, you have a very lucky streak when it comes to dire situations, which kind of annoys me a bit.
Alex grins.
As you're talking about that, the one the guy who was out there before tosses over a pack of cigarettes to you and they land at your feet, Alex. As you look them over, you notice that on the front of the pack is Windsor Blue.
Alex, his big grin, picks them up, looks over his shoulder, and just uses his big grin. And he nods as he pulls one out and sparks it up.
And I
The
figured
guy
through
just
their whole exchange, Ragtag's just standing there, blank faced, just like, happy hunting with Solomon. If I get anything new, I'll just drop it off Messenger or something.
Like he's just bit. Alex goes, I have one of these since I left England.
Before I leave, I will, if I can, just write up a quick note to the at least the physical location of my haven, in case they need any more help, say with the supernatural.
She nods
Or they
at
just
you.
need to be in contact.
Oh, and I'm just
Yeah.
using obfuscate again because, I want the dramatic exit as I walk away.
And Alex just strutting, is just sauntering out.
You start to walk and then you sort of in layers fade away. at which point not even the fog separates as you disappear from the mind's eye. Alex, yeah, you just get a respected nod from the other guy as he walks into the church, and Arthur, Elizabeth just nods to you once more, the spirit behind her nodding in tandem.
I
Before
give a
she,
nod to Elizabeth and kind of at the height of the spirit the same, so he knows I can acknowledge his presence.
Mhm. As she does so, she goes, "Keep an eye on that one. There is a lot that follows him." And
She's
while he
referring to
does
Ragtag.
it, yeah, yes, while he
Yes.
does what he does righteously, there is a tipping point where even the monster becomes monstrous.
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm very aware that our world isn't one of second chances or tolerance.
There are always second chances. But we do know his pain.
Fair enough. Our world is a dark one. A world of darkness, if you will.
Title!
Wait, I think I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah, roll title!
And with that, he will give a last nod and leave.
And with that, she turns and enters into the church. So, you now
All right,
have
let's ring up Loki once more.
it takes a couple rings, but Loki answers and goes, "Hey, what's up?"
Well, we found out what was going on with that cemetery you told us about. You
Oh, that
ever
was
heard of
quick.
us? We're efficient like that. You ever
Hmm.
heard of a sin eater? Well, that's what's going on. So, yeah,
Like, what, one or?
a small group of four who are trying to, as they put it, do their job.
Okay.
But that's
Big.
about it. They're looking
That's,
for Solomon, by the way, and a guy named Salaski.
you mean a woman named Lasky?
You actually said guy.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
I said, actually, no, I didn't say guy. I said
said
one named,
Mr.
I said,
I
uh,
heard Mr. Slasky.
it was supposed
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
mistress. It was supposed to be mistress.
Okay. So that was just a lag issue.
Yeah. So, you mean a Mistress Lasky? Like
Yep.
like Mistress Lasky, Keeper of Elysium Lasky?
Does have I met the Keeper of Elysium before?
You have seen her at court.
Yes, that same one.
Oh fuck.
I
That's going to be interesting.
yeah, and Solomon as well, and that might be entertaining to watch if we could. But nonetheless, they also agreed to lend their aid with the supernatural should we need it, as well. We exchanged contact information so that we can be at each other's aid.
Well, good to see that at least they keep the form. They This is going to be interesting.
Very much so. Anyway, I think that's it for tonight, right? Unless you got something quick.
Nah, I've got nothing. I've got to prepare for tomorrow night because, family.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting. Where are we meeting up, by the way?
Um, the Paragons managed to secure a place over at O'Hare, mainly because she still has to work her shift at the Cinnabon.
Right. You gotta keep your cover. I get it.
So
All right then.
nods.
So see you tomorrow then.
See you
Try to
tomorrow.
try to try to keep my mates busy because when they're not busy, they tend to get into trouble, especially you know who.
Yeah, ragtag.
Him as well.
Alex whistles instantly.
Okay, tell Alex I heard that.
Will do. See you tomorrow. And I hang up.
Alright.
I'll just say everyone like, all right, these done. You guys go and feed or whatever shit you want to do.
I'm gonna party.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me.
I was promised goth chicks. I didn't get goth chicks. I need to party.
um, Ragtag.
Yes.
As you leave the cemetery, you feel a bit lighter. Not as weighed down by something. Like something has been removed that was chasing after you. There's still a heavy presence in the back of your mind, but it's just a little bit lighter now. So, but yeah, that will be that'll be tonight's episode. And as you all wander back off to do your own things, a man at a pulpit with a golden mask on continues to berate and scream about the hellfire that awaits all kindred as they wander off the path of their chosen duties given to them by God for their sins. Enjoy the rest of the night, everybody.
Goddamn salt.